to start today. It's actually going to start on page 106, Kuvav, from the Bais on the bottom. And then we're going to go to today's Daf is Kuf Zayin. So we learned in the Mishnah. The Mishnah is explaining someone that accepts on himself to bring not specifically a sacrifice. He says, I'm going to bring wood, I'm going to bring silver, I'm going to bring copper, I'm going to bring levina. What is he supposed to bring? How much is he supposed to bring? So all of those things. So the Mishnah explained all of that. Now the Gemara starts with the Bais, Tanu Rabbanan, on the first wide line. It was taught in a Bais, Karban. It says in the Pasuk, if a soul will bring a Karban mincha to Hashem, and it uses the word Karban there. That word Karban teaches me Malamich misnadven eitzim, that you can also bring wood. A person can donate wood as a donation. Bekama, if he says that, how much should he bring? What's the minimal amount of wood that a person should bring? So it says shnei gezirim, 2 slabs of wood. It also says va'gerolis yipalnu al karban eitzim. It's in Menachem. They divided up who's going to bring what. They said they had lotteries, and they drew lots regarding the offering of wood. Offering of wood? Where's that from? But whatever the case is, they had to bring wood, and it's called karban. It's called karban.
But
so
what is he trying to bring? The 18 is plural, so it's
no.
two?
He's trying to bring that karban is used for eitzim. They could have said, who's going to bring the wood?
But that wasn't the question. The question was, how do we know?
We're learning. Oh yeah, we don't have a raya that it's 2. You're right. We only have a raya that you could bring
a korban.
That you could donate wood to the temple, and that's considered a karban. And that the word karban is wood.
Got it.
Rabbi says eitzim karban heim. Much more than this. It's not that you donate wood. The eitzim itself is a karban, and therefore, what does that mean? Tu'unim melach u'tu'unim on every karban you have to bring salt. You have to put salt on the wood. It'd be like fireworks, right? That's what the colors come from, the different salts, I think. And tu'unim agasha, and it needs to be brought close to the altar, just like a karban. Just like Amarava, Rabbi adds. Well, the Divrei Rabbi, according to Rabbi, eitzim tuna kmitza. You have to do kmitza on it. Kmitza is going to be very hard to do on wood. What you're going to need to do is you're going to need to turn it into sawdust, at least a section of it, to be able to get a scoop of it. And you're going to have to offer that. You're burning the wood anyway, but you're going to have to offer the kmitza also on the altar. Amar Rav Papa, well, the Divrei Rabbi, eitzim tzrichem eitzim. Rav Papa says, 1 second. You're assuming that the wood is going to be burnt on the altar, and you're just going to light the wood. That's not how it works. When you have a sacrifice, you don't just light the sacrifice. You have to burn wood under the sacrifice. So if you bring a sacrifice of wood, you have to have wood under it to burn the wood. So according to an extrapolation of according to Rebbe's opinion, that's what would be required. Okay, levina. The Mishnah said if someone accepts on himself to bring levina, don't bring anything less than a kaimitz. Kaimitz is the scoop. Minolan. How do we know that? Diksiv, as it says, he will lift up with his kmitza from the flour of the mincha and the oil, and also all the levina. It says, it's makish levina laharama, the mincha. We have a juxtaposition. These two concepts are right next to each other. They teach me one about the other. Maharama de mincha kaimetz, just like what the elevation part of the mincha, the part that you remove from the mincha, is a kaimetz. So levina nami kaimetz. We also know that levina is a kaimetz, because we really don't have any source for how much levina there should be, except for this. Tanu Rabbanan was taught in a Braisa, Harei Eily lemizbeach. Very interesting. He doesn't say exactly what he's going to bring. He just says, I'm bringing to the Mizbeach. I'm accepting on myself to the Mizbeach. So he's got to bring something that goes on the Mizbeach. So, Yavi Levina. You should bring the frankincense. The only thing that goes entirely on the altar is the frankincense. Pirashti ve'eni yedea ma pirashti. I specified something to bring on the altar. I just can't remember what it was. So Yavi mikol davar shekar le'mizbeach. He has to bring everything that's brought on the mizbeach. Now, Rashi says he has to bring Eily Sa'if in Minchas Nesachim. But if the problem is that he specified something. If he would have said it plain without any specification, it would have been Levina. But because he specified, we know that he meant something unique. So he has to bring these other things as well. Eily Sa'if in Minchas Nesachim.
So he also has to bring the Levina.
And the Levina. The Gemara asks now, V'suleka, the only thing that you have that goes on the altar is Levina. V'ika Eila. Eila is a burnt offering. It's entirely burnt. The Kayanim don't need any part of it. It says 1 second. Ika Eila Kayanim, but the skin, the hide, the leather goes to the Kayanim. We're going to see about that soon. But Ika Eila Sa'if. What about there's no skin on the Eila Sa'if? If that gets entirely burnt, it says 1 second. Eila Sa'if goes on the altar, yes, but Ika Merav V'naitza. The inside, the inside of the bird and the naitza, the feathers, they don't go on the altar. They get thrown on the side and they get absorbed into the ground. They eat from other places that may be owned by other people, so they don't want that on the altar. What about the flour and oil and the wines and the all of that gets burnt on the altar? It says l'shitin. It's not entirely on the altar. You pour it down those tubes. L'shitin asli. V'kaminchas nesachin. The wine goes. V'kaminchas nesachin. But the flour of the nesachin and the oil, that gets burnt. So kiven deka mincha da'achli kayanim minei leipsikale. Yes, that's true. However, it's not a full full category on its own, because it's only one type of the menachos. So if a person says that he's accepting on himself to bring something to the altar, and this is just one little detail of all the menachos, so it won't be including that. It would only be something that was really an individual thing that gets totally burnt on the altar. Okay. Notice if he would have wanted to bring a Minchas Nesachim, he would have had to specify that specifically. Of the Menachos, I'm bringing specifically a Minchas Nesachim. And he didn't do that. He just said he's bringing to the altar. So we say it's Levina. If he accepts on himself to bring gold, he has to bring a dinar of gold. Did we say how much that was? A dinar of gold, I think, is 6 1/4 of 6 sela and a quarter. Dinars of Lamed Aleph.
96 grains of barley.
Do they give you any other?
1/25 the value of a gold dinar.
Okay. The Gemara asks, "V'dilma nascha." Maybe it's meant to bring a bar of gold. Why specifically a coin? Maybe it's meant to bring a bar. Tosfos says that it's got to be, the bar is less than the coin, because we're always going with the smallest amount. Amar Rabbi Lazar, the Amar Matbeya. We're talking about actually when he said that he's bringing a gold coin. So then he brings a dinar. V'dilma priti. Maybe you should bring a pruta made of gold. A pruta is like a penny. Amar of Papa priti d'davale avdi inchi. You don't make pennies out of gold. You make pennies out of copper. The old coins were very, very small. Like even in the old American coins, some of them are like paper thin, and they're like these little things. So like, not like the American dollars, like those big silver dollars. But those ancient coins is almost like the ones that I've seen. They're tiny, and so to make a pruta out of a gold coin, it's going to be a sliver. You lose it in the kesef liyifchis dinar. If he says he's going to bring silver, he shouldn't bring less than a dinar. A dinar is a zuz. Dilma nascha, maybe he should bring a silver bar. Rabbi Elazar says no. He said that he's going to bring a coin. Dilma priti, maybe he should bring a pruta, a penny. Amar Rav Sheshes ba'asad b'leisaga priti dekas. But we're talking about a place where they didn't make silver pennies. Okay. So this very interesting. He says he's going to bring copper, so he doesn't actually bring copper. He says he's going to bring copper. Is he bringing the copper? The measurement that we're using for the copper is a silver measurement. He has to bring a silver ma, which is very strange. He's not actually, he's bringing copper, but the copper needs to be the value or the weight of the silver ma. He doesn't, it's funny, he doesn't use a copper measurement to do this. He uses a silver measurement. Tanya, Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov says, we're not using a silver measurement here. We're using the measurement that he should bring is a little tiny spoon, a little tiny fork of copper. L'may chazi, what do you use a little copper fork for? Amar Rabbi shemechatnem b'psilas and mekanchen b'neiros. Use it to lift up the wick in the menorah. It was like a little fork, like a little tweezer.
Why do they ask why are they using it? You take it for value, or you put it together?
I think they may want to know the size. Like what size? Maybe for the size. Actually, there's a little bit of a problem here because the wicks always needed to be thrown out. You can never reuse a wick. So what we do on Hanukkah, we lift up the wick for the following night. They weren't allowed to do that in the temple. So this must have been either while it's burning, they would lift it up, because once it goes out, you have to exchange the wicks, or before you lit it, to lift it up. Okay. Barzel. Someone says he's going to bring iron. This was not in the Mishnah. This is a new topic, a new material. Tanya, he says he's going to bring iron. Is it possible that the early Mishnayos didn't have iron, and that's why they have to add it in the Gemara? I don't know the age. When was the iron? The Hittites.
Day one.
No, it can't be day one. No, it was. Let's say, was there iron in Moshe's days? Is there any iron in the tabernacle? I don't remember any iron there.
Well, he says. That's why he says later on. What was it used for?
Well, I understand. No, I'm just saying. Did we discover how to smelt the iron? How to get the iron out of the rock?
Sure, for sure. That was done from Bais.
I think they had
brass.
No, yeah, but that could have been.
It says
from, I don't know if it was iron though. They could have had bronze or something.
No, it says in the Medrash.
That it was clearly iron.
The tzvas with tzvas asuya.
Yeah, but I don't know if they had tools. Original tools were made out of bronze. I think first they were stone and then bronze and then iron.
No, that's the Baba Ma'aseh.
Okay, fine.
The Bronze era, the Baba Ma'aseh. Ben Hashmashos, we had iron.
Okay. The Kama. How much iron was being donated? If someone said, "I'm going to bring iron," so it says first. It says Kalya Orev. Kalya Orev was.
According to Wikipedia, the Iron Age preceded the Stone Age.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
been around for a long time.
On top of the walls, they didn't want the ravens to be there. They
have it today in the car still have a little prickly.
they put like prickly like nails sort
Right,
of
they
things
have it
on
all
the
over
top,
for the birds.
so they don't land over there. So the iron was used for that. So Vakama, how much would he have to donate? Amar Rav Yosef Amal Amma, an Amma by an Amma. I don't know if it means cubed or squared. I don't know. Some say differently. Some say that he had to donate Amal Amma. And then we asked Lamai Chazia, what was it used for? Amar Rav Yosef L'Kal Yerev. They agree. It's just, what did Rabbi Yosef say? Did Rabbi Yosef say, don't have any less than a Kal Yerev? And then we interpreted Amal Amma? Or they said, you need an Amal Amma. What was it used for? Kal Yerev. Okay.
Why when a person makes a vague promise to donate, is he required to give a certain amount? He wasn't obligated to give anything. So he says, I'm going to give to the Kiddush. He gives whatever he wants. He should be fine. Why does he have to give 2 layers of, two bricks of wood?
The house always wins. You open your mouth, you're under the house's rule.
Let's say someone
Yeah,
here.
but the reality is he wasn't obligated to give it. So he gave
Once
voluntary.
he opened his mouth, he's under the house rules.
Let me
the
ask
house
you.
rules.
Let's say someone gets an aliyah. They say, what would you like to
Minus the
donate?
other.
He says, I'm going to give a kiddush.
Give whatever I can.
So then, at the following day, they say, okay, well, you want to pay up for the kiddush? He says, I never meant a big kiddush. I meant I'm going to give some egg kichel and herring.
Exactly. Right, he's allowed to. That's all he promised.
Yes.
He,
So that's a shul. In the basic
No.
English, they gave.
But actually here, we're actually going with the lowest, we're actually using the lower amount,
the
because
lowest
that's what he
amount
could
that's
have,
called.
that would still go under that category.
Just seems like if a person is not obligated to give anything and he volunteers, he should be able to give whatever he wants.
You got minimums.
Too much accounting in your
Yeah.
head.
All right.
It's like a minimum order. Okay,
Right.
Yeah, okay, fine, I hear you.
So, Taisa says very nice. He brings the aruch. I don't know who the aruch is.
Yeah.
The Aruch was, his name was Reb Nassim. Reb Nassim Bal Aruch. Which one are you looking at? In Kal Yerev?
Yeah.
That made a scarecrow?
Yeah, he says, "Va'id fesh baruch mig the shisha shina shurva leitzruchim kal yarev shalei yifes barkal." Mig the shein leit b'shusim b'shri yisuf kal yarev.
So that's what maybe the Mishnayos, the Mishnah was earlier, was from the Bais Rishon, and that's why it didn't include the Barzal.
Barzal.
That's very beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. You know the secular people, they claim that the Mishnah and the Gemara is all from after the Second Temple. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai and on, it's all created. Doesn't have a history that goes back earlier than that. And that was until the Dead Sea Scrolls, where the Dead Sea Scrolls take you 200 years before. And over there we find
Parts of the Mishnah.
we find things that fit perfectly with the Mishnah. So usually archaeology doesn't bring up much. It's like looking behind your fridge before Pesach. You usually don't find anything of significant. And what you don't find doesn't say, it's a proof of something. Sometimes when they do find something, it usually proves that accuracy. Okay, the Mishnah says, Harei ala yayin le'yifchis mishlei shalugan. If someone accepts on himself to bring wine, he has to bring shlei shalugan, because that's the smallest amount that would come along with Nesachim. If someone would bring a lamb, so it would be isaran lakeves, and with a revi'as ahin, which is 3 lug, a quarter of a hin. But let's say he accepts on himself to bring shemen. So shemen liyivchis milug. Shemen, he can't bring less than a lug. Rabbi Yomer shleish lugan. Rabbi says no. Oil is also 3 lugan. You see, Rabbi's viewing the oil that he's bringing as a minchas nesachim, and the Rabbanan are viewing the oil as something that would come along with a mincha. There's 2 different measurements for oil. Let's say he says pirashti v'nidema pirashti. He accepts on himself to bring a specific amount, but he doesn't remember which specific amount. So Yavi Kiyom Meruba, he brings like the largest day, the most active day in the temple, which would be the first day of Sukkot, as the Gemara is going to explain. Tanu Rabbanan. The rabbis taught in a Bais. Ezra, we learned this Gemara before. Where was it? Yeah, about a month and a half ago. And a few days ago also, we had it. I remember this from 7 years ago. Ezra, it says that any
Guess?
not anyone that lives there, any native, right? Any native has to do this. Everyone that lives there has to bring the Nesachim along with the sacrifice. This is in Pasha Shlach. This means that you donate. That you can donate wine alone. Bekama, how much should he donate? Shleish lugin, 3. How do you know you can add more than that? The Gemara that we had before told us that you can add to 3 to 6. Remember, and then we said you can add 4 or 6. He said obviously you can add 4 or 6. It says no, that you can add 5 also. Remember because these are amounts. Obviously, any amount that would come along with the sacrifice would be the same as 3. So yachal yefches, but maybe you can do less than 3. You can do 2. Talmud kacha. It says no kacha. So you shall bring. You can't do less than that. Shemeli yefches min lug, oil. Don't bring less than 1 lug. Rabbi Yomer shleish lugin. Rabbi says 3 lugin. But my kamiflagi. What's the machlekes? Rabbi and the Rabbanan. Samru Rabbanan kamei Rav Papa. The rabbi said in front of Rav Papa, "Bidun minei minei, bidun minei v'kim basra." Kamiflagi. This is what they're arguing about. See, where are we getting that you're allowed to bring oil? We're learning from a carbon mincha.
As by itself.
Yeah, carbon mincha you're allowed to bring. You can donate a carbon mincha, but that's with flour. How do you know that you can just donate oil? We're learning from the carbon mincha. So now I'm learning from the carbon mincha that you can do this because it says Ezrach, right? Well, Ezrach teaches me wine. We have to see where we're getting oil from. But if we're learning from a mincha, we'll see 2 opinions in the Gemara. We're learning from a mincha, and now we're comparing it, we're bringing it over to a minchas nesachim. So do we keep the original mincha size, which is 1 lug, or do we bring it over to the minchas nesachim and put the new size? There's machlekes. Is it poured on the altar slowly and it gets burnt?
Or shisim, you don't put
No,
the
it wasn't in the shitim. I forget the other opinion, what they do, but some said that you could pour it on the altar in a way that it wouldn't put out the fire. You would pour it slowly so it would burn.
Oil?
Yeah. If someone would donate oil to the
Just by itself, we're talking about someone
Oil would
donating.
exacerbate the fire.
Well, if you do it slowly.
So there was an interesting thing before when we said that you donate. If someone says I'm bringing to the altar, so it says he has to bring frankincense. So Taisus asked over there, what about oil? Because oil, according to one opinion, goes on Ikashemen, Lamanda Amar, the color that it gets burnt. Similar to our answer that we gave for Minchas Nesachim.
Okay. So there's a Manda Amar
that says that. Okay, Rabbanan Sabri Dun Minei Minei. We learn from a mincha and we keep it with the laws of a mincha, that it stays at the measurement of a log. Ma mincha misnadvin, just like a mincha you can donate, afshemenam misnadvin. Also oil you can donate. Uminei, and what is the law by a mincha? Ma mincha beloig, afshemen beloig. Just like a mincha, the smallest amount is a loig, so also when you donate oil, it's the same. Rabbi Savar dun minei v'ukabasrei. We learn from a mincha, but then we put it into the new status that it has, which is ma mincha misnadvin. Just like a mincha you can donate, afshemenami misnadvin, you can also donate oil. V'uki basrei, but now I put it in its new position, ki nesachim. It's just like the nesachim. Ma nesachim shleishes lugim, afshemenami shleishes lugim. Just like what's the smallest nesachim is 3 lug. The question is, when you learn from something, it doesn't need to keep its original size, or when we're learning it over to the thing, it gets the new size that we're getting it from. Amul Rav Papa. Rav Papa said to the rabbis, you see, the way this started was, Amru Rabbana Kameda Rav Papa. The rabbi said in front of Rav Papa. Rav Papa responds to them, Imi mincha gamar la Rebbe, the kuli amalei pligi dun minei minei. If we're learning from a mincha, Rebbe would agree that it's dun minei minei, it's only a lug. El Rebbe me Ezrach gamar la. Remember the pasuk before Ezrach that said that you can donate wine? Rebbe learns from there that you can also donate oil. He's learning it from Nesachim. The whole source is Nesachim, so that's why Rebbe holds that it's 3 lug.
So Rav Papa disagreed with his students.
Right.
Rabbanan is the students or
it could be.
Or
it could be the students. Amalu Rav Huna Breder Rav Nasan le Rav Papa. Rav Huna Breder Rav Nasan says to Rav Papa. Rav Papa's friend was Rav Huna Breder Rav Yeshua. I'm not sure if this is a friend or a student. How can you say that? V'hatanya, it says in the Braisa, Karban Malamit Shemisnadvin Shemen. Okay, it says in the pasuk Karban. We had that before. Malamit Shemisnadvin Eitzim, right? From the word Karban, that teaches us that you can donate oil. V'kama, how much oil do you donate? Shleishas Lugin, 3 lug. Man Shamet Ladamar Shleishas Lugin. Who holds that you can donate 3 lug? Rebbe. V'kamaisi lami Karban, and he learns it from Karban, which means not from Ezrach. Ezrach is Minchas Nesachim. Karban is Nefesh Kisakar of Karban Mincha. It's a regular Mincha. So if I'm learning it from a Karban Mincha, I'm back to Dun Minei Minei or Dun Minei Vuki Basrei. Rebbe must hold Dun Minei Vuki Basrei. Amalei, Rav Papa responds, Tanya Tanya. If it's a Braisa, I can't argue.
And he reads, Masha Katuv Katuv. Whatever was written.
Okay. Pirashti v'eni ma pirashti. Specified, but I don't know what I specified. It says Yavikim Meruba, you bring for like the largest day. Tana was taught in a Brisa came to Rishon Shel Chag Shechol Yis B'Shabbos. It's the first day of Sukkot that came on Shabbos. Why is this the busiest day? Because it doesn't say, but it's for community offerings at least, because you have the 13 cows that are brought, because every day of Sukkot you do one less. It goes down because it's a total of 70 for all the nations,
so
right? So you have 2 sets of 7 lambs, and you have 2 aisles, and then you have the Sar, and then you have the sacrifices of Shabbos, the Musaf.
So why would that be the biggest measurement?
Because if someone says, why is the most on that day?
Bring wine, yeah. Why is that?
Because that day is when they bring the most wine along with those sacrifices. Because
It's crazy. How much wine is he going to have to bring?
We got to work that out. But it's, did we work it out once? Was it?
Or does it say? Okay, move along.
We learned out that there were, I think, 57 sacrifices or something.
Okay.
On that day. Now you have to multiply it because each one has
The
a certain
13
amount of
bulls
wine.
require 6 lugim of wine and oil each, totaling
Right.
78 lugim of oil and 78 of wine. Wow.
But that's just the 13. Then you have also the 7 sheep, and you have the ram, and
He
you
must
have,
bring 140 lugim of either oil or wine to discharge of his uncertain obligation.
it's only doing the.
You better watch your mouth.
It's only counting the cows.
No, this one is
It
everything.
counts-
says
counting
at the
everything
end,
together.
The total quantity is 140 lugim.
Wow.
The same for oil. That's
Right.
for each.
Right.
That's
Verse
a
the
person
same.
who says oil needs to bring 140 lugin of oil or wine.
Right.
Shiro Labrios.
How much was each menorah? Remember we learned this. How much went into each
I think it was 6
cup?
ounces.
Oh,
That I
yeah?
remember looking up when
But
we did
it was altogether. Oh, it was altogether a lug and a half,
I
right?
think it was about 6
It's
ounces
altogether
of
looking
oil
at-
goes into each cup, if I remember correctly.
Okay. The Mishnah says, "Harei alai oila." This is interesting. There's a bunch of options. The oila is not just one type. He says, "I'm going to bring an oila." Which animal does he bring? So Yavi Kevis. He can bring the smaller one. That's the lamb. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, Oitara ben Yoni. He can even bring a bird. Pirashti min abakar, veini dema pirashti. I said I was going to bring one of the big animals, but I don't remember which one I specified. It says, well, Yavi Par Ve'egel.
Does it make sense that this person had to make this pledge in front of Aiden?
I don't know.
No, if you
Who
admit,
makes this pledge in front of?
In front of his family or whatever.
Well, his family would be Aiden.
Not halachically. Even.
Okay, fine.
it has to be
He had
said
to
in
make
front of
this
somebody.
He had to make this pledge in front of somebody. Who did
Why?
he make it in front of?
If you made it, you just say it out loud, and you're an honest person. You're not gonna mess with the
Even
If a person makes a pledge and no one hears it, did he actually make the pledge?
yeah. When it comes to
We're talking
tzedakah,
about honest people.
when it comes to tzedakah, even if you pledge in your mind, we're supposed to be strict about it.
Okay.
If you have a teichkei diber in your mind, that's right.
Exactly.
I take that back.
It's a problem because a lot of times somebody asks you for tzedakah and you think of a number and then you do another cheshbon of a number.
Right.
So how does that work?
Right. Right. Yeah, we have to practice. So, what should he bring? He should bring a par or an egel because those are both ben bakar. An egel is a young bull, it's a calf, but it's from the cow family. But the point over here is that an Eily needs to be a zachar. So the nekevas for sure you're not bringing. So one of the animals that are a zachar, that's what you're going to bring. Mina behema, let's say he doesn't say from the cow family. Any animal. But I don't know which type. So then yavi par, egel, ayal, sar, gedi, vitle. You have to bring from the cow and from the goat and from the sheep family. All of those. Pirashti v'enidiyama pirashti. I specified, but I don't know at all. I don't even know if it was an animal. Or I don't know what I specified. And he said he's going to bring an Eily. So, you bring all of those from the cow, the goat, and the sheep, and the birds. But all of them are male. Except, by the way, birds didn't matter. He says, not an Eily. Now we're on to the next sacrifice. He says, I'm going to bring a toida or a shlamim. Yavi keves brings a sheep. Pirashti min bakar. I specified from one of the cow family. Any of them pirashti, I don't remember which one. Yavi paru para, egel be'egla. Then he has to bring both the male and female, the older ones and the younger ones. Mina behema, v'eni dem pirashti. It says from the animals, but I don't know which one. Yavi paru para, egel be'egla, ayal urechela sar, seira gediya, talea utalea. You have to bring male and females, all the different ones, the older ones and the younger ones, from the cow, goat, and sheep family. Real shar. Let's see, he says, I'm going to bring a shar. An ox. Yavihu, u'nesachov b'mana. Huge amount. A mana is 100 zuz. It's 25 sela. It's a tremendous amount of money. All the dinars of